Yo, 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 what is up? What's up, guys? What is going on, man? It's Wednesday, baby. We made it. We made it. Halfway there. Halfway to the weekend. Yo, we'll finish Hi-Fi Rush today, yeah? That's a play, that's a play. I don't know what we're doing next yet. I don't know what we're doing next. So yeah, I don't know. It's good to see you guys. My hair is a mess. I don't know what to do with it anymore. it just keeps growing, dude, and getting crazy. So I don't know. We just rock it, dude. We just let it do what it does. It's in a weird stage, man. Just want to let it get long. Yeah, it's good to see you guys, man. Hope everybody's well. We will finish Hi-Fi Rush today, it seems. And it's been a great time. I don't know what we'll do next. We'll talk about it a little bit. I don't know that we'll start anything else today. I'm not sure how much time we have left in Hi-Fi Rush, but I don't know that we'll start anything new today. It might just be that. It might be a little bit of a more slim gaming segment today if we finish Hi-Fi Rush early. But we'll take some time and talk about what we're going to start tomorrow up until, I don't know, the 7th, I think, is when Hogwarts Legacy comes out early if you pre-order. So I'll be starting that early. So until then, we'll keep pushing with something else. We'll figure it out today, okay? But on that note, man, let's go ahead and hop over here and get into our news, man. Video gaming news for the first day of February, man. Let's go. First of all, we're listening to Subnautica vibes this morning. Yeah, you got the Subnautica tunes. Cool. Very cool survival exploration base building game. And it's got a cool soundtrack, so check it out. Cool. Let's go. Bum ba bum. Bum bum ba bum. We got an article up from our buddy Wick already, our mod Wick, trying to act like he's got rhythm and it wasn't his fault that he couldn't get through Hi-Fi Rush tutorial yesterday, you know? So, we'll take a look at this. We'll take a look. But I'm skeptical, you know? Skeptical. So, but we'll take a look at it just in case anybody else is having issues. That does actually have rhythm. Alright, dude. Alrighty. Let's go. No, not filters, man. There we go. Oh, we talked about that. It's like EA shares are slumping after they gave a disappointing outlook for the current quarter. Okay. I don't know. Seems like Dead Space Remake is doing pretty well, though. It's having a few issues here and there, but overall, it seems like people are enjoying it quite a bit, and you're able to enjoy the game enough that you're able to overlook the bugs that it does have, apparently. So there's something to be said for that, I guess. Microsoft is going to begin delisting Xbox 360 games in February. So this month. Yeah, Age of Empires 2 is hitting Xbox Game Pass, right? So average score of 87 on Metacritic. Available on Xbox One and Series XS. I thought it was coming to Game Pass too, but I'm not seeing it in here. Saying that. I thought it was coming to Game Pass. Yeah. 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 So, is coming to Game Pass. Yep. On what? Yesterday? Yesterday. So if you need more than what I just told you, take a look at this article. I'm not going to deep dive into that. It's an old, it's got some years behind it, but it is, we did read already that it's coming to Game Pass. That's why I'm not going to dive into it. But if you're interested in playing Age of Empires, coming to previous and current gen Xbox consoles as well as their subscription service. And that article right there should give you a bit of knowledge about what the game's about and what you can expect out of it. Pretty good, pretty highly rated game. What is this? Game Pass getting one of 2023's biggest annualized releases. Okay, we'll see what that is. We talked about this yesterday. Nintendo skipping E3, Sony skipping E3, Xbox skipping E3, and these are just the tip of the iceberg here. I predicted this. It's been too many years in a row. E3 is too sketchy to rely on anymore. These major developers and publishers in the gaming industry have not only lost their ability to reliably, plan to be a part of that convention and that showcase, but E3 not being a thing for the past 3 years has forced these publishers and developers and their collaborators into learning how to produce their own showcases each summer. And they've been doing it for 3 years now. Why change? It's just kind of forced their hand into showing them that they can do it on their own and they don't need E3. So it's a combination of two things. E3 is not reliable anymore. It hasn't been. I know the pandemic played a role, but, even last year as the world got back to normal-ish, E3 still canceled their event, shut things down, and did the same thing they've done every year and said, we'll do it next year. We'll hold it next year. And a lot of these businesses in the gaming industry have had enough. So they're going to do it on their own, as they have been doing. Why wouldn't they, Kind of called this. Yeah, we talked about this already too. If you're not familiar, Rumbleverse is done. At the end of this month, Epic has already come out, notified everybody a few days ago that Rumbleverse is finished. They are not. It's not even just not being supported moving forward. They are literally shutting the game down. You will not be able to play this game moving forward. It's finished. So I think at the end of this month, that's when this is happening. If you wanted to try it out, give it a shot. I recommend you get in there and do it now. Do it now. Apex Legends Mobile is shutting down. Amazon bought the rights to Tomb Raider. Now, they're not going to own the IP, they just bought the rights to publish it, or what? I don't know, because Embracer is the one that owns this now from Square Enix last year. I don't know, let's see what's going on there. SpongeBob Cosmic Shake review scores. Let's see. We saw this came back into the forefront of the news the other day because it was releasing yesterday, I think. And we'll see what people are saying about it. PS Plus free games for February. We've seen this, but I'll hit on it again for everybody. Excuse me? We don't need a Switch to what? Dost my ears deceive me? Who is this? What? Yeah, let's read into that. I mean, I'm interested in what this take is. We don't need a Switch too, huh? Okay. Interesting. All right. Rebooted DC Universe. Plans to use same actors. I think this is some of the stuff Business King was talking about yesterday. Let's take a look at this, though. Or was he talking about the Marvel stuff? I can't remember. Same thing, right? I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Chill out, guys. Jesus. We've already got an article up about this. Looks like the Series X and S have prices have raised in Japan at this point. Ooh, looks like 343 is actually undergoing a total reorg. So we had seen previously where there were layoffs at Microsoft, like roughly 5% of their workforce, right? 5% of Microsoft's workforce is has been laid off. They're not the only tech company or gaming company that has done this recently. There's been a lot of layoffs in the industry, right? But we also saw there were a couple of primary development studios under Microsoft in the gaming sector that had received layoffs, with 343 being one of them, as well as 343 being told you're no longer going to be heading up Halo development, right? Now there's some more info coming out in regards to what exactly is happening here with 343, so we'll take a look. PSVR 2 production reportedly slashed amid poor pre-order. Interesting. Is MLB The Show 23 on PC? Gabs, what are you doing? It's early for you to be here anyways. What are you doing? Are you skipping school? What are you doing, Gabs? What's up? I don't think so. No ellipses. Wait, what? I don't know if I believe you with that ellipses on there. Yeah. No, it's not. I'm not even gonna dive into that. No, it's not gonna be on PC. Okay. Got up early to work from home. Oh, sick! Congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome. Nice. Yeah. I'll pull this up. We'll hit on it real quick. We had seen that a Fortnite Dragon Ball Super collab was starting yesterday, but we didn't have a lot of details on what was going to be in it. So we'll take a look at this today. It should give us more details about what's exactly in that collaboration, that mashup. How's school going, Gabs? Nice. Let's go. Japan declares an official Final Fantasy VII day? Yo, that's sick. That sounds about right for a group project there. Looks like Nintendo's game vouchers are returning to North America for the first time in 4 years. What? Okay. We got a lot of articles today, by the way. Oh, Star Wars Jedi Survivor's been delayed. Ooh. That wasn't very far away, was it? Smells like homework. It happens. It happens. Oh, new Dead Island 2 gameplay footage, alright? Yeah, so Tomb Raider did Embracer sold Tomb Raider to Amazon. Interesting. We've got an article up, but that is exactly what happened. I thought maybe they just sold the rights to publish it to Amazon and they were still going to hold the license to it. But no, apparently they sold the entire franchise to Amazon. Interesting. Huh. Jeez. What's up, dude? Bro, I was just God, yesterday was a mess, bro. From laughing all day long to like trying to make content last night, dude, I was laughing all flipping day, except for that section of the game I was playing where I was mauling out. Yeah, I felt like I was laughing all day long, dude. So interesting that Embracer went from purchasing, or let's start with this Tomb Raider being owned by Square Enix until later last year, end of third quarter last year. Then Embracer gets that series, the IP, Tomb Raider, off of Square Enix, amongst some other IPs and some the North American studios from Square Enix, and then turns around and sells Tomb Raider to Amazon at the beginning of this year. So the Amazon or the Tomb Raider franchise has changed hands twice within the past 6 months. Oh yeah, no, Gabs, it was. It was a great day. Yeah, it was a great day. It just, dude, it wore me out, dude. I was laughing all flipping day. It wore. I'm talking laughing hard too, not just like chuckling, dude. I was crying even after I stopped streaming last night. I was trying to get content because I'm trying to do a better job at like every single day after I stream. I go and get all my content cut out of each VOD, not just the news. I'm trying to get ahead of the ball game here. I've been behind for so very, very long, and Dude, I was making I was making clips last night and everything of dude, it was even just watching the clips of the stuff that I did yesterday, I was just dying laughing. Dying laughing, dude. And then I was shooting them over to Wick, and Wick was streaming last night, and he was showing them off on his stream, so I was watching them again because I was watching his stream, and he was laughing again, and so I was laughing again. It was chaos, dude. Bad OA, just OA evil. So this is kind of wild. But let's stick with this. We'll hop in these. Let's get into the nose. Star Wars Jedi Survivor delayed, new release date set. Jedi Survivor is spending a little extra time at a mediation point. Respawn Entertainment announced that the action title is being delayed, but also revealed its new release date. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is now coming out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on April 28th. You can't get past your level? I'm sorry. Sounds like Wick trying to get past the tutorial in Hi-Fi Rush. Dude. Here we go again. It's never gonna stop, dude. Oh my god. The EA Star Wars Twitter account tweeted out an explanation noting that Respawn Wars was in the final stage of development and is working on bug fixes, making it more stable and polishing it all up. And to meet fan expectations and the Respawn quality bar, the team is pushing it 6 crucial weeks. While received positively on the whole, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was heavily criticized for its many bugs, some of which blocked progression. Head of Respawn Entertainment, Vince Zampella, was strangely forthcoming about the bugs, saying that the studio considered pushing the game, wanted to release it in time for the holiday. Fallen Order, despite some stiff competition, came in second place in the November 2019 MPD just after Call of Duty Modern Warfare. As of May 2020, it had sold over 10 million copies, garnered over 20 million players by June 2021. That number has undoubtedly grown, especially as Fallen Order was a part of January 2023's PlayStation Plus Essential lineup. Survivor now shares a release date with Dead Island 2, which also landed on that day because of a delay. Yeah, I mean, look, this is the first real delay I think they've had for this game. And that's what I was going to point out was the first, Fallen Order had a lot of issues when it first released. People love that game. It's actually touted as one of the best Star Wars games that it's ever been made at this point. But it was not in a great state on release. There were a lot of bad bugs, and people forget about that. So that's been one of my concerns about Star Wars Jedi Survivor coming out, was not having the same issues that the previous entry had on release. And so seeing them delay to try and make sure that this game comes out in a better state than the previous entry did, which was Fallen Order, is something that I see positive. That's a positive in my opinion. Obviously, if we start seeing multiple delays, that's an indicator that something bad is happening. But a single delay is okay. Maybe even 2 delays can be okay. But you get more than that, it's a pretty good indicator there's something wrong. All right. New Dead Island 2 gameplay footage shows off dismemberment and detailed damage system. Game Informer has shared a new gameplay video for Dead Island 2 that showcases the game's zombie dismemberment and highly detailed damage system. To be honest, this damage system brought me memories of Soldier of Fortune 2. Since I liked everything I saw in this video, I'm all in. Unfortunately, though, the player movement still feels a bit slow. I guess Dam Buster didn't learn anything from Dying Light, so no, I don't expect this game to have any parkour elements. But anyway, Dead Island 2 will take players across the most iconic locations of the City of Angels. Players will explore iconic, gore-drenched Los Angeles and meet larger-than-life characters. Additionally, they will slay countless foes in exquisitely bloody detail and evolve to become the ultimate zombie slayer. Deep Silver will release Dead Island 2 on April 28th. Again, like we just read, that's going to be on the same exact date as Star Wars Jedi Survivor now, yeah? Let's take a look at this. Look, this is a game that's been delayed for a very long time, though. Like a very long time,
lots
man.
of games have gore, and they all work in different ways. But where the flesh system really takes it forward is how it has this progressive effect, so you can continue to damage in many, many different ways as you attack a zombie. I think other games, well, if we didn't have the flesh system in Dead Island 2, you'd be hitting a zombie, you might get some effect, you might get like a wound on the zombie that you know, you get one, you get two, you can chop off arms, but you can't get that progressive feeling where you get this, you can fight it for ages, a zombie for a while, and just get more damage, more feedback.
Oh, nice.
That real feeling
Oh yeah,
that zombies
let's
are made
go.
of something.
Cook that up. Where's Pinky at? Cook that up, Pinky.
Sort of a volume of mass instead of just a shell that you're hitting.
So it's really just a procedural way to damage characters in the game, and obviously Dead Island 2 is a zombie game. It's all about hitting zombies with things usually at very close range, and so we really wanted to make sure that the impacts felt impactful, and obviously it's a zombie game, people want lots of gore, so
oh, that kind of sucks. Really, did you see it wasn't putting in a slice into the body the way you're hitting it though? Did you see that?
Spectacular, and also to sort of hit the tone of the that kind of schlocky, kind of pulpy, gory kind of horror tone that we've got. So yeah, it's a fundamental part of the game. It's entirely procedural. So all of the different zombie types, they're all sort of set up in the same way.
Like so that one slash came down from like almost a total vertical,
go through the layers
and
of, like, skin,
the cut into the body was like
the internal organs. Obviously, the models are slightly different in terms of like one of the big crusher zombies has got much
across
larger
this
guns
way,
than a small zombie, but the system is entirely the same across all of them.
There was a point early on where there was, you know, we had scheduled meetings about early parts of developing the game, and there was one about dismemberment, and it was sort of like the agenda of the meeting was how many points of dismemberment can we have, you know, what models do we need to divide these zombies into, what's the pipeline going to look like, and it was just before that.
Yo, Ginger Beard Gang unite, dude.
You know, knock our heads together before we go in and see what we want to say on our side. And, you know, we had these ideas. We thought,
Ginger Beard Gang unite,
system.
Bro.
And then these questions about how many points of dismemberment, what do we need to break it into? They just
Kayla, what's up?
Like, well, there's no need to decide how many points of dismemberment. There's no need
Twins?
To
no way, dude.
We need
He's
to break the
way
zombie
better
into.
looking than
We
me.
can do this procedural system, and it unlocks like so many things, and that was really early on, and I think it really drove that way.
His is actually a more of an orange color than mine is. I think
even the concept.
His is a little bit brighter than mine is. It's not. It's not. His is a little bit brighter.
Say, from early on, we want a new zombie.
Especially around his mouth and stuff. Around his mouth and stuff, his is a little bit brighter than mine is. But it's pretty close.
And that all just works, and it was really good to have that locked in really early on. From the start, the way it works is if we want damage to look different, we can
I'm
just
good,
do
Kayla.
that.
How are you?
Get an artist sets up like the damage parameters for.
But what's funny is like. That's what I've been telling people, Gabs. I don't grow my beard out very often, but the longer I grow it, the more like dark red it looks, like the deep red it looks, man.
If we want a different way, we want a sledgehammer. It's got.
Whenever I'm just like not when I've just got like a little bit of scruff, you can't really tell. It just kind of looks like brown, you know.
That works across.
But as I grow it, it starts. You can start seeing that deep red in it. Yeah, turning into a Viking, kind of, I guess. I'm like just growing all my hair out.
We can just sort of add things, and we don't have to go, we need to change something to make this work with the system. It just works with the system.
Just don't break word, Kayla. Yeah, sorry you had to go back to work.
that you see in games, there'll be like kind of decals that get applied, or like switchboard.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate my hair right now. So does my wife.
If you wanted to do something,
My wife hates long hair, dude.
And then like a sledgehammer.
But
You'd have to
I'm
make
growing
different
it.
models
I don't
for
care.
those, figure
It's
out
so
the
gross
fitting
right
and
now.
all that stuff. Whereas actually the
Like I
precision of
washed
the
my hair
system
this
is
morning
enough.
too. I do look homeless, I
Flash
know.
system that we can just say, okay, well, the damage is
I know.
and you'll get a
I know.
slash and it'll look like a slash. Whereas with like in the sledgehammer, you go, well, it's here and it's a bit more of this kind of shape, and it'll look like
I just
that.
like wash my
And,
hair and just like let it
there's actually a lot
dry.
of
This is
things
what
that
happens.
they aren't immediately
This is what
noticeable
happens to my hair when I don't do
kind of
anything with it.
there, like, you can put like bruising around the wounds and stuff like that, so that you get kind of a different.
Going pretty
result
smoothly,
from
good.
Different types.
None of the people I sit with
and
for
it's
lunch
something
are here
that we
today,
did
so I'm
have
gonna be
to
lonely
balance
on.
across
Oh, I'm
the
sorry,
development
Kayla. That
because,
sucks.
obviously, you want.
But
the,
my hair will be pretty once I get it
wounds
down
to
here.
look
It'll be pretty hair.
impressive and-
It's just at a
and
weird
We have a
phase.
thing where we've got some weapons are very small, so you've got like a dagger, right? And it's.
I don't think I'm gonna let the
stab
beard get
someone
like
with a
super
dagger
long
and,
or
like,
anything
take
though.
off, like, half
I'll
the
probably
chest.
trim it
Doesn't
up here
feel
before
right,
too
so
long.
You can't do that.
Because growing
and
the
then
hair
you've got
out
the
and the
weapons
beard
that are
long,
larger
it does. It
ones,
makes
such
me
as
it makes me
that,
look
and
homeless.
so
It makes me look like
you
a
can,
bum,
in
dude.
theory, go up to a zombie.
Like
stab
like
it
I'm
at the
like
same
I'm in
time,
shambles. Like I
a
can't
few
take care of
times in the
myself
same
or something.
place.
You know what I
And then
mean?
obviously you're not going to get a lot of damage over the whole body. So we've really tried to like kind of balance it so that when you do a hit, depending on how much health the zombie has left and how much health that particular part of the zombie has.
I
left,
literally like I literally woke
it
up this
will
morning,
kind of
showered, and this is what I look
feel
like.
that hit is kind of
Yo,
indicative
Jelly, what's
of
up?
how much health the zombie has. So if you do a little stab,
All
not a
right,
lot happens,
word,
but
Kayla, that
something,
sounds good.
Then
Yeah.
it's still pretty tough. I mean, if you do a stab and you take quite a big chunk out, then he's closer to death. So yeah, it's definitely something we've thought a lot about and put a lot of work into.
It'll work out. It'll work out. Once the hair finally like,
And it's been really
it's just in a
useful
real
because we've got
awkward phase,
a
dude.
very large variety of zombies.
This is the problem. I always get to like
We've
this
got,
phase.
I don't know,
Jelly, you're cool,
hundreds,
man.
thousands,
Don't
it's
trip.
lots,
I always my hair will get to like
different
this
zombie
phase and I hate it,
because
and I'll
we
end up
really
cutting
wanted
it because
to,
I can't stand
get
it.
across like.
But like once it starts getting like
Often
down to the
they-
chin, that's
zombie
where I
game,
like
zombies are
it'll
just
be
this
cool,
sort
you know.
of
But it's like right here, it's just
kind of
gross. It's a
mass
really
that all
weird
kind of look a bit
phase,
like
man.
each other, you know what I mean? And it's I think one of the things that we really wanted to get across because of the setting in LA was that these were people who used to actually live in LA before the zombie outbreak happened, and they're recognizable as that. They feel like people, rather than just these sort of shuffling monsters. And because we've got all these different character models, because we can just treat them all with the same
Oh, that was
system,
cool.
we don't
Nice.
have to author specific
Get burnt,
things for
idiots.
specific- So if we then
Look at this big old
we need a new
Chadwick. Holy
zombie
crap,
because
dude.
we want the,
Oh my
I don't know,
god.
police station to have police zombies in it or whatever it is. Then we can just go, okay, we just build the character models and then that's basically it. And then the flesh system takes
Jelly,
care
how
of
you
us.
been,
So
buddy?
It's definitely been helpful in that regard. I mean, I think it's made life more difficult for the character artists in other ways because obviously they had to every single zombie now needs to be fully modelled internally, but that asset is shared across any zombie of the same size. So it's
Been
everything's
fine?
the same on the inside. That's the
Good.
positive message. Of
Better than not
to-
fine.
One of the parts of that variety as well is
What's noodle
we
about,
want
Gabs?
zombies to have a
What
different set of
noodle?
wounds. We can use
Did I
the
miss
same
something?
system to apply those wounds. So the artists don't have to go, oh, well, we want to model this zombie that's got half its torso missing. We go, no, just put the zombie in and then use
It
the
doesn't
system
matter what
to
I
get
do
rid
with
of
it.
half
It's
the
so
torso.
gross.
Yeah, we've
So-
got
Like
the
noodles singing from my head.
scatter
Yeah,
that
I know,
you
dude.
that you
Yeah.
can use to
Because my hair's all like
any
kind of
zombie
curly wavy.
and then,
It's like wavy
modify the
curly.
zombie, put damage
And it
in
just
to
does
get
what it was. There's like no
down
taming
here
it,
or
dude. I need to just go put a hat on.
and,
That's what I need to do.
Then sort of save that state.
Or tentacles.
So that then
I
when
like
the
that. I
zombies
like
look
tentacles.
like
That'll
that to
work.
begin with.
Here. Is that better?
How far you can go with it is
Does
sort
that
of
work?
the natural product of how the system works. It's procedural. The stopping point would have to be something we'd say, oh, we have to put a stopping point in it. We've set all these zombies with this procedural goal system.
I don't know what
Damage
to do with
system
it, dude.
You can effectively
It's
reduce
just
them
real.
down
It's
to
an
nothing.
awkward phase, man.
Why
It's
not
awkward.
sort of let that just go as far as it can go? Just have it so you can completely destroy them. I mean, the
Old
flesh system works
tentacle
in such a
head.
nice way in that regard.
Yeah,
we
I do wear a hat a lot.
artificial
Yeah,
introduce if we wanted to
yeah.
limit
I don't like putting a hat on.
Yeah,
My
I
hair's
think
still
we
damp
did-
and wet
when
though.
we
That's
first
why
started
usually
playing
like
it,
if I'm not
we
wearing
had a version which
a
was
hat,
kind of
it's
a
because my
definitive
hair's still
because
drying
it
or
was
whatever.
basically
You know,
exactly the same
I don't want to put a hat on
technology
when my
in
hair's
terms
still
of,
kind of damp. You know,
damaging the kind of outer layer of the zombie.
like a depressed
And
teenager.
then it would deform, and you'd get the kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
sort of like I say, the layers of like skin, fat, muscle. But then once we got down to the muscle layer, that was basically
Super
another
angsty.
model of the zombie inside the outer model of the zombie.
Yeah.
And then that
Yeah,
was as far
dude.
as you could go. And we found that it wasn't quite satisfying enough because you'd go like, oh, I've damaged this zombie. And then you're like, all right, okay, now he's just
I don't
like a
know.
meat man. And
I'm
can't
just
really
I'm
do
just gonna
anything else.
embrace it, dude.
And that
You
was
can't do
when we
anything
came
else.
up
You
with
just gotta
the
embrace
idea
it.
of basically making
I do wear a hat a lot
the
right now though,
they're actually
because
like
it's
kinda
such a
hollow and
gross
filled
hair
with
right now.
organs.
My hair is just gross.
Which I think really gives it
Not
that
like
next
actually
level
gross.
of
It just looks.
ridiculousness,
It's
that
it looks
I don't think
bad.
I've seen anywhere else.
It just looks bad.
I think we've sort of aimed. We've talked about how we've aimed for sort of film.
You know what I
style
need to
gore.
do?
You know,
I need
we're
to
not-
shave my chin
it's not
again
real,
and get the Harry
it's like
Dubois thing
fake
going.
real
You
from a
know?
film. It's supposed to look realistic, made out of real stuff, but it's got
Yeah,
like, extremes to it.
baby.
It's not
You know?
supposed to make you think, oh, this is horrible. I don't want to see this.
Real
It's supposed to go, oh, this is
disco,
horrible. I do
man.
want to see this. You know.
I guess I can take it back to when I first saw like a movie like RoboCop, right? Like when I first saw RoboCop, it changed my life. And the bit where the guy falls in the toxic waste and then he gets like messy, and then the car comes along and hits
You
him
didn't
and
like
explodes
that,
and
huh?
his head kind of bounces off the windshield. Like that was that was a moment as a teenager.
I probably
when
should
saw
go
that,
put a
I was
hat
just
on.
like, this is amazing. I didn't realise that anyone. Was
Oh,
going
Kayla,
that
I got
far,
you here.
And I
Hold
kind of
on.
wanted to recreate that feeling for other people, hopefully.
Perfect combination of disgusted and impressed.
Yes, exactly.
Together.
Disgusted, impressed.
Don't know if there's a word for it.
And also, it's like so far that you have to laugh as well.
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
kind of So that was the feeling that I was really keen to get into the game.
All right, hold on. Let me grab something real quick. Here. This is what I'm talking about. It was just a phase? No way, dude. Raphael Ambrosius Casto forever, okay? I kind of cosplayed for the past couple, like the last few days that we played Disco Elysium. I cosplayed a little bit as the main character. Not like super, but just for like a little bit of fun stuff. But that's the clip right there. That's a highlight of some of it. There's some more stuff, but that's the first one I saw, so I grabbed it. All right, let's keep going. All right, Dead Island 2. I mean, look, this is a game, if you guys aren't aware, this is a game that has been in development for quite some time. Dude, I'm talking like, I think around 8 years. There's been a lot of delays, and it's like, it looks good, but you know, those indicators I'm talking about all the time about a game potentially showing everybody that you should maybe take a step back and not play this on release and be very careful about especially not pre-ordering and seeing what the state of the game's going to be like when it comes out. I think this is one of those titles just because of how long it's taken to get this game out. When did development on this start? This was announced in 2014, guys. This was announced in 2014. So, 8 to 9 years now. We're talking about this game being in development. And it's changed hands. It's gone through many delays and things like that. So, it's just one of those things where I would tell people to be very careful about this game. It looks like it could be really cool, and hopefully it will be. But my recommendation here is to be careful and don't get yourself into a situation where you might be let down. Don't get too hyped up about this. Anytime there's a game that has gone through this much turmoil throughout the development process, it's better to be safe than sorry, right? So hopefully it'll be great, but let's wait until it comes out to see, you know what I mean? Fortnite update. This was yesterday, version 23.30 explained. We share everything you need to know about the latest Fortnite patch. Hasn't even been a month since the last Fortnite patch, but we're already being treated to a new one, which looks to include skins that please fans of anime and gaming alike. Epic Games is being quite generous with this one, as you will see with Dragon Ball crossovers, shiny new augments, and possibly a Geralt of Rivia skin. All right, Kayla. Yo, I hope work continues to go well. We'll see you later, okay? Dragon Ball crossover. Last year's crossover with Dragon Ball was immensely popular in the Fortnite community, so it only makes sense to bring it back in 2023. Son Gohan and Piccolo will be getting skins, and last year's fan favorites are set to return, such as Goku, Bulma, Vegeta, and Beerus. Vegeta, best boy. Vegeta is the best, dude. Kakarot. Dude, I love Vegeta. Continuing with this theme, 2 items will also be making a return. Look. The Kamehameha. All right, everybody? Everybody that's going to be playing this game, this is called the Kamehameha. All right? I'm so glad that they're bringing this back because the best thing that ever happened, in my opinion, to Fortnite was them doing the crossover with Dragon Ball initially and having so many people create content trying to say this word and had no idea how to pronounce it. They kept calling it like the Kamama Mama and the Kamimi Mimi and stuff like that. They had no flipping clue how to pronounce Kamehameha. And it was hilarious. They were legit putting videos up online on like YouTube and stuff. Thought they were pronouncing it correctly. And being dead ass serious. It was so funny. I could not get enough of it. So I'm so glad they're bringing the Kamehameha back because that's the best part of this collab in my opinion. I don't even play Fortnite, but I'm so looking forward to this because there's just going to be more content popping up on the internet with people trying to pronounce this word and they can't do it. It's going to be so good. Vegeta's literally the worst. His head is huge. He does have a big old dome piece. But I love Vegeta. I've been a fan of Vegeta since... Look, I'm a fan of villains and anti-heroes. So, Vegeta has always appealed to me. And I've liked Vegeta since he was initially part of the Dragon Ball world. I love Vegeta, dude. I think he's great. The Nimbus Cloud will be available. So search those Capsule Corp capsules. Say that 10 times fast. Jesus. New reality augments. It wouldn't be a decent update without new reality augments. We've listed them below. Harvester, Shadow Striker, Rift Ejector Seat, Icy Slide, Deft Hands, Geralt of Rivia. Unfortunately, the much coveted Geralt of Rivia skin won't be available today, but it will be in a week's time. On Tuesday, February 7th, you'll be able to go to battle as the Witcher protagonist hunting down your friends instead of his usual witches and monsters. All right, there you go. Geralt! Yes. Yes. Japan declares an official Final Fantasy VII Day. Absolutely amazing. Square Enix's iconic role-playing game turned 26 yesterday. Final Fantasy VII Day is officially registered in Japan 26 years to the day after the iconic role-playing game first launched. Square has marked the occasion by sharing that Final Fantasy VII Day has been officially registered in Japan and will take place on the 31st of January each year. Along with the announcement, Square Enix's Twitter account shared a message from game director Yoshinori Kitase. The 31st of January 1997, the day that Final Fantasy VII came out, was not just a significant day for the Final Fantasy series, but also marked when so many big things started moving for those of us who worked on the game's shared catastrophe. I remember being overwhelmed at the breakneck speed with which video game technology was evolving, but also dreaming big things for the future, he said, adding, with the establishment of this official anniversary day, I will now always remember these things and hold them dearly in my heart. Okay, that's the gist of it. So, officially, they changed his name? I didn't know that. What do you mean? Elaborate, if you will, Gabs. Inform us. Educate us, my friend. So 31st of January, every single year, moving forward, in Japan, will be FF7 Day. Sick. Okay, Jelly. Yo, it's good to see you, buddy. All right. Stay safe. Be well, my friend. Oh, dude, you're not talking about Geralt. I know why you're saying that. You're not talking about Geralt. I know who you're talking about. You're talking about HC. Okay? Let's not get it confused. Right. So, you're not in love with Geralt. You're in love with HC. Mr. Cavill. Yes. You want both? You're in love with the idea of the character and the actor that plays the character. I get it. Okay. I can respect that. It looks like Nintendo's game vouchers are returning to North America for the first time in 4 years. Nintendo fans are once again obsessing over a February Direct after a leaked game voucher video. You can save up to $20. Okay. Easy there, Thirsty. Easy. It looks like Nintendo intends to bring back its game voucher program in North America for the first time in 4 years. And the leaked announcement video has fans once again desperate for confirmation of a February Nintendo Direct. A video detailing the return of Nintendo Switch's game vouchers in North America was briefly listed on the official Nintendo YouTube account last night. As with the previous iteration, the program would allow Nintendo Switch Online members to purchase a pair of game vouchers for $100 US, which would then be redeemed for select digital Switch games. This option has been available in other regions for some time, but the North American voucher system was previously shut down in 2019. In practical terms, these vouchers would let you get two $60 first-party Switch games for $100, saving $20 off the normal purchase price. Given how rarely Nintendo publishes games see major discounts, it's a decent deal, especially since it can often be used on pre-orders. The leaked video, which fans quickly archived, shows upcoming Switch games like Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe and Bayonetta Origins Cereza, and The Lost Demon. Spicy. More fuel for the February Nintendo Direct fire. Are people thinking this week or next? Not been following. Some interns slipped up and unlisted a return of game vouchers for Nintendo Switch Online. They haven't been in North America for 4 years. Yeah. Well, we also heard fuel for the February Nintendo Direct fire. Dude, what about the January Nintendo Direct fire? Because apparently that fire died out. So is the February Nintendo Direct fire going to die out as well, or are they actually going to drop something on us? Because Nintendo sucks at this. Okay. The added effect of this leak is that it's adding fuel to the fires of speculation for fans who have already been hungry for a Nintendo Direct. There's been a Nintendo Direct every February for the past 4 years, so the speculation isn't even as wild as usual, but Nintendo has made no official announcements regarding a presentation. I guess it is about time we started hearing more about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. All right. Apex Legends Mobile is shutting down. Respawn cited factors beyond our control that impacted maintaining a quality experience for players. The developer behind Apex Legends Mobile has announced that the game is folding. Respawn, which is owned by EA, wrote online yesterday that the mobile version of the free-to-play hero shooter that launched last May will no longer exist after May 1st of this year. So virtually a year, only lasting a year on mobile. Explaining the decision, Respawn cited factors beyond our control that have prevented us from maintaining the high-quality experience and content that players deserve. The game will be shuttered 90 days from yesterday's announcement. All real money in-app purchases in the game have been disabled, and the game has been removed from web stores. During the 90-day closing period, players can spend their existing Syndicate Gold and continue playing the full game. Further explanation about the decision was shared in an EA blog post. At Respawn, we aim to provide players with games that are consistently outstanding. Following a strong start, the content pipeline for Apex Legends Mobile has begun to fall short of that bar for quality, quantity, and cadence. It is for this reason, after months of working with our development partner, that we have made the mutual decision to sunset our mobile game. Although disappointing, we are proud of the game we launched, are grateful for the support of the Apex Legends community, and are confident that this is the right decision for players. Noticeably, the post mentioned the Apex Universe's mobile future. Respawn and the Apex Legends team remain excited about mobile as a platform and look forward to new opportunities to serve players there in the future. According to HITC, developers have confirmed that EA will not provide any refunds for real money purchases made during the game's lifetime. EA has also confirmed the cancellation of Battlefield Mobile. Meanwhile, Apex Legends' 16th season is slated for a February 14th release on all of its other platforms. So, Battlefield Mobile is canceled, and Apex Legends Mobile is done in 3 months. Amazon has reportedly bought the rights to the Tomb Raider franchise for $600 million. What? Yo, check this out. Bro, Embracer just re-upped so hard. Check this out, Gabs. Embracer, at the end of the third quarter of last year or the beginning of the fourth quarter of last calendar year, actually bought the Tomb Raider rights off of Square Enix. So this is the second time this has changed hands within the past 6 months. Now, what's funny here is this. Embracer got not only the Tomb Raider IP, they got Deus Ex, Thief, Tomb Raider, and like all of Square Enix's North American development studios. There's like 4 of them, most of them in Canada, if not all of them, for $300 million. So they got all of that stuff for $300 million. Now they just turned around and sold only the Tomb Raider franchise for double what they bought everything for roughly 4 months ago. Bro, what a move! And they still have all those development studios. Well, they shut one down, but they still have all those development studios. They still have Deus Ex. They still have Thief IP. Maybe, but I don't know, dude. I mean, if not, dude, what a play. To grab all that stuff for $300 million last year and then turn around and sell just the one IP for double what they bought everything for last year, that's insane, dude. It does seem unrealistic, does it not? How? I mean, it takes money to make money, but did Amazon really want it that bad? And why? Because of all the stuff they can like do with it, I guess, like show-wise, because we know they're wanting to make shows off of it and everything too. I guess rather than having to license everything off of Embracer, they thought that just dumping this much money into it right now was going to be the better play long term. But dude, for Embracer, that's actually insane. Basically what happened is they just got Amazon. Embracer just got Amazon to buy them a bunch of Square Enix's North American development studios, the Deus Ex franchise, the Thief franchise, and also pay them $300 million. Holy crap, dude. What? Amazon has reportedly bought the rights to the Tomb Raider franchise for the grand sum of $600 million. According to the website Fellowship of Fans, which says Embracer Group just sold their Tomb Raider rights to Amazon for a deal that we can exclusively reveal as being approximately a $600 million overall package, making it Amazon's second biggest purchase after purchasing the television rights for The Lord of the Rings of Power. The site appears to have a solid insight into Amazon's TV offerings, as it correctly predicted several early Rings of Power plot points months ahead of the show's release. While the source doesn't specifically state the currency, we assume the figure is in US dollars. It's also unclear whether the deal includes games, movies, TV shows, and merchandise, or if it's only the film and TV rights. Though the lofty sum that Amazon has apparently coughed up suggests that it's purchased the rights to the whole Tomb Raider IP. Bro, you better hope so. Of course, as this news hasn't come directly from Amazon, you should take it with a pinch of salt until we have official confirmation. If this is in fact true, it's not wholly surprising, as Amazon has certainly taken a strong interest in the series as of late. In December 2022, the company announced that it's publishing the next Tomb Raider game, which doesn't yet have an official title or release window. And just late last week, it was reported that Fleabag writer Phoebe Waller-Bridge is penning the script for a Prime Video series based on the popular franchise. We just read that. That being said, if Embracer has indeed sold the rights, it's something of a speedy turnaround by the company, as it only purchased the Tomb Raider IP, among others, and those development studios from Square in a $300 million deal in May last year. So it was the middle of the year, or early middle of the year last year. It wasn't as late as I thought, but still. Making this purported $600 million figure an excellent return on investment. Dude, insane return on investment. Wow. Interesting. Huh. Look, man, Embracer is a giant corporation that has just been gobbling up IPs. They're the ones that bought up all the rights to the Tolkien Lord of the Rings stuff too, for a big massive amount. I don't remember what the number was, but it was a ton of money. And they've been just gobbling up everything they can, and that's why I've been telling everybody here recently. You know, Ubisoft is in a really bad spot. And it's not the development portion of that company that other companies are going to want to buy out from underneath them, because it's a mess. They've even put their feelers out there. We've read about this. Ubisoft has actually been, gauging other, interest from other companies on them coming in and buying them out. And a lot of companies are like, no, dude, it's too much of a mess. We don't want to get in we don't want to take this on. But I've been saying for a while now, Ubisoft was a company that was touted last year as being possibly one of the big developers and publishers out there that would be sold next or be acquired next. This year, it's an even exponentially greater potential, I think, this year than it was last year. They're in quite a bit more trouble. And I've been saying for a while that an Embracer could be a big player in this, because Embracer is all about getting these IPs. And you see what they're doing, man. They get these IPs, man. They're making money off of them. It's kind of wild. So really, I think if Ubisoft sells, it'll probably be to Tencent, who has already invested a lot in Ubi, or it could be something like Embracer, who are already they're European as well. I think they're Swedish. It's a Swedish company initially. That's where they're out of, founded and everything. So it's a pretty easy thing for them probably to dive into taking over Ubi, whom is out of France, I think, and easier than it would be for somebody like North American or an American company to go take over somebody like Ubi. This is just kind of my thoughts here, but so I could absolutely see a company like Embracer taking over Ubi, mainly because they just want those IPs. They want Assassin's Creed, they want Far Cry, they want the Tom Clancy stuff. They want all those IPs. So I could see that happening. I'm not saying that it will necessarily, but I would absolutely see them as, if the price is right, being a player in that for sure. SpongeBob SquarePants, the Cosmic Shake review scores. Is it fun? The recently released SquareBob Shaky Pants Fun Hat. SpongeBob SquarePants, the Cosmic Shake aim to bring another great game to follow Battle for Bikini Bottom. The question is, was it successful in doing so? Let's go through what critics think of SpongeBob SquarePants. Yeah, I guess 3. Yeah, dude, not enough coffee yet. The Cosmic Shake, based on their reviews, as well as the scores they gave the game. 67 to a 71 on Metacritic. Not very good. Unlike Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, which was a 2020 remake of a 2003 cult classic, Cosmic Shake is a brand new game and story. Although SpongeBob doesn't seem like it could be a big game, Battle for Bikini Bottom became a cult classic and is still going strong today. When news of Cosmic Shake came out, eyes were on it with people wondering if it could be a good successor to the classic. It would appear, however, that this might not be the case. Metacritic keeps separate scores for each platform this game came out in. However, the aggregated score for each of them isn't all that good. The Switch version is at a 73, PS4 at a 70, Xbox One at a 67. Not great. Taku said it isn't quite the sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom that they wanted. Did mention that the game does have good jokes and pretty levels. Leaves out a lot too. Mentioned the lack of multiple playable characters as one of the disappointing points of the game. Did, however, say that it was still a pretty fun game. IGN gave the game a score of 50. Barebones platformer manages surprisingly boring despite its SpongeBob-infused charm. Game's platforming becomes irksome, repetitive within a few minutes, and combat without anything to meaningfully differentiate the first battle from the last. Gross. I'm not going to read the rest of it. Square Bob Sponge Pants. Yeah, that one. If you want to read the rest of it, there you go. Look, Nickelodeon has not been doing great. What was the Nickelodeon's Smash type game that they came out with not too long ago? It was kind of similar to Multiverses. It didn't do very well either. Multiverses apparently was much better. I don't think Nickelodeon's on a great streak right now with a lot of their games. So, we've seen the trailer for this, and it did look pretty. And you're gonna get that SpongeBob vibe from it for sure. You know, there's gonna be some of that SpongeBob and Patrick silliness in there if you're looking for that. It didn't. These scores are kind of all over the place, everywhere from like 50s to 70s, and I think depending on what you're looking for out of this game. If you're just wanting something chill to platform around with, you're not looking for anything too great. If you don't have a lot of expectations to begin with, and you just enjoy SpongeBob, you'll probably be entertained enough. Not blown away or anything, but entertained enough. If you're kind of a critical game player like myself, and you were to play this game, you would probably rate this a bit lower. You probably wouldn't enjoy this very much, I would say. I tend to look at every single game I play with a bit of a critical eye. Even the games that I enjoy immensely, I tend to find things that I feel like developers could have done a bit better. And if you're one of those types of people, then you're probably going to see this in a pretty negative light, it sounds like. So, it's there in chat if you want to take a look. PlayStation Plus free games for February 2023, leaks and confirmed games. In every month, Sony offers some free PS Plus games as the perk to subscribers. These free games often delight some and disappoint others, depending on your preferences. However, the free games eventually offer something for everyone to get excited about. To take advantage of the free PlayStation Plus games each month, you'll need to have an active subscription to the service, with Essentials being the most basic package. Yeah. The good news is this entitles you not only the free monthly games, but also gives subscribers access to the PlayStation library of free games and enables access to multiplayer. Many of these are remastered classics from the PS4 era, such as God of War, Persona 5, and The Last of Us. Here's what we know about this month's free games. We've already kind of hit on these, but here's what's coming. Ollie Ollie World, Destiny 2 Beyond Light, Evil Dead the Game, and Mafia Definitive Edition. I will say this, Ollie Ollie World has already gotten pretty good reviews. It looks like a fun little vibrant skateboarding kind of game. Destiny 2, I have not played since its release, but I had a lot of fun with this. If you like loot and shooters, it's got both PvP, it's got PvE, it's got raids in it. It's a pretty renowned, well-developed game, and if you like those kinds of things in a shooter, then you'll probably enjoy Destiny. Okay, Evil Dead the game was free on Epic not too long ago, and we tried it out for a little bit. That's a fun title too, man. It's a pretty cool. Yeah, Gabs. It's a pretty tight little title, man. It's like a more fleshed out version of I would say Dead by Daylight. Take Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th, mash them together, flesh it out a little bit more, and you get Evil Dead. It's a lot of fun, man. I had a lot of fun playing that game. It's pretty neat. So, and then Mafia Definitive Edition. Mafia is a great game too. I haven't played it in a very long time, but yeah, it was a fun game. If you need more out of there, I'll throw it in chat. There you go, guys. We don't need a Nintendo Switch 2, says Stacy Henley. Mr. Lil Bat. How you doing, brother? I'm great, dude. Besides just looking like a hot mess because my hair won't hurry up and get long, I look like a bum, dude. I look like just a disheveled mess. I shouldn't say bum. I don't like that word. I don't like using that word. I shouldn't say that. It's looking good. Dude, this is my hair washed. I washed it and it's just dried. It's just like dried like this. It's such a mess, dude. I don't know what to do with it anymore. I need to get it. I'm trying to grow it out. I'm trying to get it long. I think once it gets long, it'll be fine. It's at a real awkward stage, dude. But other than that, I'm good. I'm just embracing it. I don't want to cut it. Every time it gets like this long, I cut it because I'm like, God, it looks terrible. I can't stand it. But it's whatever, dude. How you been, dude? How are you doing? It's good to see you, man. So, the Nintendo Switch is still the best console in the market for the audience it caters to, despite our rampant consumerism. Look, you guys know how I feel about the Switch in its current state. It's over 6 years old at this point. The hardware inside it is over 7 years old, and I am I have been very, very publicly. My opinion is that it's old. They need a new version, or they need a new console. Oh, dude, yeah. I've gotten mine like about this length a number of times, dude, and it gets into this awkward phase right now. You know what I mean? And it drives me crazy, and I always end up cutting it. But I'm trying to stay strong, dude. Yeah, I've been talking about this a lot. The Switch is an amazing, amazing console. It plays a dual role as a mobile device, an on-the-go console, as well as a traditional console when it's docked. You know, it's a great thing. But it's old, man. It's old. And to say that we don't need a Switch 2 is, in my opinion, asinine. Every now and then a new rumor sprouts up about the Switch 2 or Switch Pro, or given the naming conventions of Pokemon Snap, the new Nintendo Switch. Categorically, we do not need one. Nobody on any side of this argument needs one. It's baffling that we continue to crave a product we simply do not need, and highlights the strangely pro-corporate culture gaming continues to exist in. First off, let's look at what the Switch 2 would improve. Almost every single person who mentions the Switch 2 primarily talks about graphical performance, causing me to sigh so hard my lungs momentarily turn inside out. Things that might actually be useful, like eliminating Joy-Con drift or battery life, come secondary. The main thing is that it has to look better than ever, because we've been trained to believe that that's the highest mark of quality. As long as your generic AAA open world slop has good graphics, someone somewhere will defend it as a masterpiece. No. Disagree. I am not even, and dude, I all the time talk about how the graphical presentation, the graphical fidelity of games is one of the last things I really care about in a game. It's immersion, it's good writing, it's good music, but the game needs to perform well. The game needs to feel good. It needs to feel very, very, very polished. The gameplay needs to be good. You know, there's a lot of things that culminate to bring a good experience to the table. One second, guys. That my wife hates my hair. She hates my hair right now. Here's the deal, though. I'll give you a perfect example, right? One of the best games I've played on the Switch is Breath of the Wild. But I'll tell you this. Breath of the Wild pushed the hardware in the Switch to its limit. They did a very, very good job in that game. But they pushed that hardware to its limit. And that was 2018. That's 5 years later now, right? And what you're seeing with developers trying to push games further and further on Nintendo platform is not working, because the hardware in the Switch is old. Not only that, but the hardware in the Switch, it's old, and it's not traditional hardware that you see in normal consoles. It's mobile hardware, which means it's not power hungry, it doesn't age as well, and it's good for what it does, but it's limiting, and it doesn't age as well. It's just a fact of the way technology works, man. You're not putting a big, chonky, high TDP processor, a high TDP CPU and GPU inside this console. It doesn't age as well, and it's limiting to developers in the further that you push this console out. So you take a look at something like Breath of the Wild, and it is in my opinion, the most well done game I have seen on the Switch in its life cycle so far. And I don't think that most games can match it. What I have seen is that a lot of developers are trying to evolve their games and their universes, and it's very hard on Nintendo because the hardware can't do it. The hardware can't open the worlds up that you can see in a lot of other platforms. It can't do the Elden Ring stuff, man. It can't make worlds that big and that immersive. You know, it's not just about the way it looks. How big can you make the game? There's not enough RAM in there to handle that stuff either. You know? So you want to sit there and talk to me about the only thing anybody cares about in a new Switch platform is graphical fidelity? You're out of your flippin' mind, Stacy. That doesn't make any sense. So, but Nintendo doesn't even. We'll finish reading what she has to say here. Or I think Stacy could be a dude. My bad, Stacy. Whatever. Could be a non-gender. All right, we'll just say Stacy. But Nintendo doesn't even make photorealistic games. It has always been understood that the Switch was not going to beat Microsoft or Sony at their own game. While prestige games have gotten more similar, have been sapped of their visual character, Nintendo games burst with life. Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Pokemon Let's Go, Luigi's Mansion 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Metroid Dread all have their own art style that works perfectly on the Switch's limitations. And I put limitations in quotes because while the Switch is technically limited, I don't think any of us even want a realistic Mario game. No, we don't. But even in Breath of the Wild, there was frame drop, man. It doesn't... This is the issue. You see, I'm getting heated about this because they're trying to act like the Switch can just last forever, is what they're acting like. Like the only reason that there would ever need to be any kind... This comes off to me like... Stacy comes off to me like somebody that doesn't actually understand the other aspects of why upgraded hardware plays an important role in evolution of gaming development outside of just graphical fidelity. This is a very short-sighted take on gaming development. Would I like circles and spheres on the Switch to be rounded off and not a succession of straight lines arranged as if to look like a circle? Sure. If a console that did that fell into my hands, would I play it more than my current Switch? Absolutely. Don't want to pay £250 and see Nintendo overhaul one of the most successful ecosystems it has ever had just so Mario's nipples look better. Not a chance. And you're a sucker if you do. But what about third-party games? Yeah, what about them? You're spending your free time reading a mid-sized gaming outlet. 95% of you have a gaming PC or Steam Deck, or PlayStation or Xbox, if not several. Sure, a Switch 2 could run The Witcher 3 better, but I don't need it to, and neither do you. The fact you occasionally want to play The Witcher on the bus with the best possible graphics is not a good reason to want everyone to have to shell out another £250 for a game console either. A Switch Pro on top of the OLED? Sure, whatever. People want the best version of the Switch possible so that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet can be broken on a crispier screen. Again, it might not have been as broken if they had better hardware to develop on. We're talking about over 7-year-old hardware, man. Developers are trying to develop modern games for modern technology, not modern games for 7-year-old technology. They want to evolve. They don't want to have to dumb their stuff down. Be my guest. Anything that keeps the Switch as the current Nintendo console is fine with me. But a Switch 2 is an upgrade from PS4 to PS5. No, it's not. And suggests an incoming phase out in the name of slightly better graphics for a company that makes games that look like cartoons. This is so short-sighted, dude. We've been here before. The Wii did its own thing and was widely popular. Then it crashed and burned with the sequel. Wii U, you're risking the Switch turning into the Switch U and paying hundreds in cash into the bargain. Just so a game you already own on top of the range console with a 4K TV looks a little better when you play it on the plane once a year. It's not what it's about, dude. Too much of our modern identity is defined by ownership and consumerism. People get brand logos tattooed on their bodies, so it should be no surprise that instead of wanting the best-selling console in the world to continue pushing creative games that offer new experiences, we want to buy another version, one that can play the exact same games we already have on our other machines that are part of our identity. We don't need to Switch 2. We won't for a long time. Oh my God, dude. Somebody cleanse Stacy's soul. What a short-sighted take on this, dude. I'm going to stick by this. Stacy, I'm sorry, you come off as an individual that doesn't understand what technology, the evolution of technology, and upgraded hardware in a device like the Switch or a modern version, whatever Nintendo's next console would be, which I am guessing would be something very similar to the Switch in their next iteration, probably called the Switch 2, something like that, would do for the evolution of their games in not just graphical fidelity. This is a short-sighted take, and you're coming off as very ignorant. That's my take. Even Breath of the Wild, it has nothing to do with games needing to look realistic. Even Breath of the Wild had frame drop. You go into the Deku Forest, it was terrible. Even docked. Having it docked, dude, playing the game, terrible frame drop in certain areas of that game. That is what I'm talking about. It's not just about the graphical fidelity, it's about the performance. You need the game to perform well. You need the hardware there to be able to handle stuff. And if you want to look at a side-by-side comparison of what is it going to help, what they can do graphically, absolutely. But that's not the entire part of this. That's like maybe half of it. This is a very short-sighted take. You should bump up what the Switch, the current Switch is, and what the Steam Deck is, and what the Steam Deck can do. Then that'll give you a look at what Nintendo's future games could be on a new Switch-esque platform. That's such a short-sighted take, and I hate it. The rebooted DC Universe plans to use the same actors for games, films, and TV. DC wants to feature the same canon and storylines across all mediums. DC has unveiled its newest attempt at a connected media universe, and this time it'll include video games that feature the same canon, storylines, and actors from the film and television world. That's the goal, according to James Gunn, the DC Studios co-chairman, who outlined his plan during a presentation about the future of the company. Quote, the DC is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation, Gunn explained. Characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works in one story. Gunn did leave himself room to disregard this, however, with the DC Elseworlds branding. This alternate universe will house the content that doesn't make sense in the wider DC universe, such as projects like Joker and its upcoming sequel, Joker Folie Deux. Wait, Mr. Labatt, sorry I missed that, dude. I got on a rant there. Always in the way. Can't too short to do anything with. How about your hair, dude? Yeah. Yeah, dude. All I can do is like wear a hat right now. You know? Like I can wear a hat. That's about it. That's about all I can do with it, dude. Latest attempt to recreate the massive success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe comes with DC's slate of huge movie franchises failed to replicate Marvel's box office dominance. Now Gunn, who previously helmed the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, will oversee the entire project in a role similar to that of Marvel's Kevin Feige. No gaming projects were formally announced as part of this lineup, and as there was no reference to projects currently in production, such as Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, it's likely they'd fall into the DC Elseworlds bracket. Games based on DC properties such as the Batman Arkham series led the way in the superhero gaming genre during the Xbox 360 era. This caused Marvel to form its own Marvel Games division, which has produced titles such as Insomniac Spider-Man, Crystal Dynamics Guardians of the Galaxy, and the ill-fated Marvel's Avengers. It's unclear if DC will license properties to studios outside of the WB Games umbrella. Okay. We'll see. Microsoft studio behind Halo faces a reboot on years of turmoil. Yeah, the title has suffered multiple delays, development setbacks, and staff changes. And we can't read this. Sick. I love that website. Sorry, guys. Debated. Sony denies reports of PlayStation VR 2 production being slashed. It comes out this month, by the way. The PSVR 2 will have a launch lineup of over 30 games. Sony has denied earlier reports that it has halved its projected shipments of PlayStation VR 2 units at launch due to lackluster pre-order numbers. The original story came courtesy of a Bloomberg report that cites multiple unnamed sources familiar with its situation, according to the sources. Sony was forecasting that it would just ship that it would ship just 1 million units during the current financial quarter, which runs from September 2022 to March of this year. Then encompasses the PSVR 2's release date of February. Sony had reportedly sought to ship 2 million units during the same period in the hopes that titles like Horizon Call of the Mountain would stir up enthusiasm and therefore pre-orders for the system. In a statement to GamesIndustry.biz, PlayStation said it has, quote, not cut PlayStation VR 2 production numbers and that it is seeing enthusiasm from PlayStation fans for the upcoming launch. Of course they're going to say that, which includes more than 30 titles such as Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, and Resident Evil Village. PlayStation has promised that PSVR 2 will represent the next generation of virtual reality play, courtesy of a range of tech improvements over the original, such as the VR 2's 4K HDR OLED display, upgraded eye tracking capabilities, and the addition of improved VR2 Sense controllers. However, a combination of factors, including the PSVR 2's lack of backwards compatibility and its eye-watering price tag of $550, this is a big thing. Sony hates doing this for us. Backwards compatibility, Sony's trash about it. That's one of the things I hate about Sony. Has potentially dulled consumer enthusiasm for the system. The Bloomberg report claims PlayStation told partners to expect a reduction in orders for hardware elements like display panels and will now aim to ship roughly 1.5 million units between April of this year and March of next year. Earlier this month, PlayStation confirmed that PSVR 2 will have a launch lineup of over 30 games. Talked about that. All right, well, we'll see. Yeah, look, I don't think PlayStation's doing themselves any favors, man. They're so reluctant to incorporate things like backwards compatibility. And even with our subscription service, it's they're so reluctant to change, to embracing change and evolving and transforming with the way that the gaming industry is. The industry is kind of moving forward without PlayStation. That's the way it appears to me, anyways. Xbox continues to kind of lead the way in regards to innovation and being creative and finding ways to bring new things to the table and PlayStation just wants things to be the way they've always been, is the way it comes off to me, So, I don't know. The whole virtual reality side of things is a different kind of game, man. It's a weird situation. I think Xbox doesn't really care as much. We don't see Xbox trying to. I think there's two things to talk about here. PlayStation has been working on their VR stuff since obviously PS4, and they've stuck with it, right? But Xbox, I don't think cares as much because anytime they release a game on Xbox, they release it on PC as well. They make Windows. There are a lot of headsets out there for PCs, and ultimately, if they were to produce their own VR headset for their Xbox consoles, they would lose money on them. I think that there's no real arguing that. They've always lost money on hardware. It's not hardware they make money on. They make their hardware to get people in and playing things, but they make money off their software, their subscription services, things like that. So, I think the way Microsoft probably sees it and Xbox sees it is they don't need a VR headset manufactured specifically by them. Now, what I kind of expect to happen moving forward with their consoles is because Microsoft does create Windows, there are so many VR headsets out there that work on Windows. I expect at some point in the near future for there to be some kind of functionality on Xbox consoles for people to just be able to use whatever VR headset they want. That's what I would see happening. Way before Xbox ever made their own proprietary headset for their console, they'll find out a way to make it to where you can use a Vive or a Quest or whatever just hooked up to their Xbox. I think that's probably where they'll go with it. And it'll be another way for them to present an opportunity for people to get into their console, play on VR, and they'll start incorporating VR products on their Game Pass and cloud gaming and stuff like that. It'll be an easy entry. That's my prediction, anyways. I mean, that's what I think would probably happen. And I think that's why Xbox probably hasn't really taken a big dive into trying to work on production of their own VR headset at this point. But Sony doesn't have that luxury. It's at least not quite as easy, I would expect, for Sony as it will be and is for Xbox. We'll see. Xbox Game Pass getting one of 2023's biggest annualized releases. Game Pass subscribers can now look forward to getting one of the biggest annualized releases of 2023 on the first day of its launch. Any given calendar year, video game fans can come to expect new versions of games like NBA 2K, Madden, FIFA, and more. Often than not, Call of Duty. And while Xbox Game Pass hasn't been a stranger to harboring titles like this in the past, this trend is now confirmed to be continuing in the coming year. Announced this week by San Diego Studios, MLB The Show 23 is set to launch across PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch platforms in March 2023. When it does release, though, Xbox has already confirmed that the latest edition of the show will be coming to Xbox Game Pass upon release. This is the third year in a row that the show has landed on Game Pass at launch. Despite still being a franchise that is developed and published within the PlayStation Studios, Xbox has had the inside track on MLB The Show in recent years thanks to its availability on Game Pass. Yep. So there you go. That's news, man. Microsoft will begin delisting Xbox 360 games this month. Microsoft has announced it will begin delisting older games from its Xbox 360 marketplace, with around 46 classics set to depart by the end of this month. An exact reason for the sunsetting was not shared. However, it's likely related to expiring licenses for content and the complications of maintaining a semi-defunct storefront. Beginning on February 7th, less than a week away, a limited set of games and add-ons and in-game content will no longer be purchasable in select markets via the Xbox 360 store. A Microsoft spokesperson told Gamatsu of the changes. They also made clear that this will only impact the 360 version of Microsoft Marketplace. These titles will no longer be purchasable on the Xbox 360 store only. And titles that are available to be purchased on the Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S stores will remain. Players will still be able to play discs and re-download content that they've already purchased via the marketplace or on modern consoles, as long as these games are backwards compatible. Titles set to be delisted on the 360 consoles include heavy hitters like AC, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Dark Souls, The Witcher 2, and more, with each representing a core part of gaming history. While the Xbox 360 marketplace is not shutting down imminently, this decision does appear to be a first step towards sunsetting the store. Given the console is now 2 generations behind the status quo, we wouldn't be surprised to see additional steps in the future. For now, the following titles will depart the 360 marketplace in the US and other regions. This is a long list. I'll let you guys look at it if you are interested. Okay? It's right there in chat. Before we hit on this, don't forget to get your free games. Tomorrow will be the last day that you, between today and tomorrow. All right, you basically got a day left right now. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, Adios and Hell Is Others will no longer be available on Epic, okay? At that point, City of Gangsters and Dishonored Death of the Outsider will become free on this platform, okay? So grab your free games. They're available right now if you haven't, and get ready to grab your free ones tomorrow, okay? If anybody has anything to add, let me know in chat. We'll talk about it before we head off into the gaming content for today, all right? How to fix beat heat tutorial in Hi-Fi Rush if you're having issues. Hi-Fi Rush. Shout out to our buddy Wick here for throwing this out here to us. I'm going to stand by the notion that I think Wick is projecting onto us that he wasn't, in fact, just having really bad issues with his own timing and rhythm, and he's trying to act like it was an in-game issue, okay? But we'll read this anyways. Hi-Fi Rush is a fast-paced action-adventure rhythm game that is a lot of fun. Like any rhythm game, the key is to keep up with the beat and do things at the right time. Even so, this system can sometimes cause trouble. Take the nail the beat heat party bug, which you can see in the game's tutorial. Some players can't seem to get past this part because the game won't let them move on, even though they've done what the game wants them to do. So, can this Hi-Fi Rush beat heat tutorial bug be fixed? Well, there are a few things you can do on your end to fix this, and we'll list them right here. How to fix beat heat tutorial in Hi-Fi Rush. When you reach 808 and you need to do the nail the beat heat training, this is what happens. You have to hit at the same time as the flashing circle. The problem is that even if you seem to do this right, the game doesn't recognize that you have. And you can't move on until you've done it well enough for the game. So how can you fix this? The problem seems to happen most often when people play on the cloud. So turn off low latency input and try again to see if it works the way it should. If this doesn't work, you can also change the video sync in the game settings and turn off NVIDIA Reflex. If you're playing the game on TV, you can also check to see if you've turned off similar options. As far as we can tell, this is because of input lag. Turning off options that have to do with it should fix the problem and let you finish this part of the tutorial without any more problems. All right? Thank you, Wick. I appreciate it, buddy. Glad you found your rhythm. That's the news, my peoples. Them's the breaks, man. Them's the breaks. Cool. So we are going to move into our gaming content for the day, but which will be the finale, should be the finale of Hi-Fi Rush. And we'll talk about what we're going to play next. I don't know. We planned on it being Superfuse. Superfuse is it released in early access yesterday, and it's in a really bad state, so we're not going to play that. But we'll figure out something else until Hogwarts Legacy starts on the 7th, I think, for us. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. You guys are awesome. And everybody that was part of this news segment especially awesome. And to everybody that is always part of this community, helping to create such an amazing environment and community for all of us to be a part of, creating a safe, inclusive, welcoming spot for all of us to hang out and have a good time and laugh all day long, man. I can't thank you enough. If anybody is coming across whether some of our content, whether it be video gaming news or gaming content or just funny highlights or clips or whatever, here on our Twitch channel or on our YouTube channel, and you're enjoying the content, I would prompt you to come hang out with us. We go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day. We start all of our streams off with video gaming news before we jump into whatever gaming content we have slated for the rest of the day. Other than that, I would say just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we will catch everybody tomorrow for what will be February 2nd's edition of Video Gaming News and some kind of gaming content. We'll figure it out today. We'll figure out what we're playing next, yeah? All right. Have a great Wednesday. Happy hump day. Keep grinding, peoples. Keep grinding.